Latin America and the Caribbean, are they merely geographical regions? Or are they living, breathing testimonies to the convergence of global cultures? What if I told you that within their vibrant tapestry lies a profound influence, centuries in the making, brought by African peoples through migration and adversity? Today, let's embark on a journey to uncover the deep-seated impact of African culture on Latin America and the Caribbean. What roots did it plant? What manifestations did it inspire? And what enduring legacy does it leave behind? Join us as we unravel the rich heritage that continues to shape these regions to this day. The story of African influence in Latin America and the Caribbean begins with the tragic chapter of the transatlantic slave trade. Millions of Africans were forcibly uprooted from their homelands and transported across the Atlantic to toil in the plantations and mines of the New World. This massive forced migration, spanning several centuries, not only resulted in immense human suffering, but also carried with it a rich tapestry of African culture, traditions, and knowledge systems. The transatlantic slave trade, which reached its peak in the 18th century, was a brutal and dehumanizing enterprise that fundamentally reshaped the demographic and cultural landscape of the Americas. Africans were subjected to unimaginable horrors during the Middle Passage, the treacherous journey across the Atlantic, where they endured cramped and unsanitary conditions, disease, starvation, and violence. Despite these appalling conditions, they brought with them the resilience, creativity, and cultural heritage of their diverse societies. Upon arrival in the Americas, African slaves were dispersed across the region, from Brazil and the Caribbean islands to Central and South America. They were forced to work in sugarcane fields, mines, plantations, and households, contributing to the economic prosperity of European colonial powers. However, amidst the brutality of slavery, African captives found ways to preserve and adapt their cultural practices, often in clandestine gatherings away from the watchful eyes of their oppressors. The influence of African culture on Latin America and the Caribbean is evident in various aspects of society, including music, dance, religion, language, cuisine, and art. Afro-Latin and Afro-Caribbean cultural expressions such as samba, reggae, salsa, candomblé, santeria, and vodou reflect the synthesis of African, indigenous, and European influences. Moreover, African languages and dialects such as Yoruba, Kikongo, and Bantu have left an indelible mark on the linguistic landscape of the region, permeating everyday speech and expressions. In Latin America and the Caribbean, the collision of African, European, and indigenous cultures gave rise to a phenomenon known as cultural syncretism, an intricate weaving together of diverse cultural elements to form new, hybrid identities. This process, often born out of necessity and survival, involved the blending and adaptation of African traditions with those of other ethnic groups, resulting in the emergence of entirely new cultural forms that are uniquely characteristic of the region. Cultural syncretism in Latin America and the Caribbean is most prominently manifested in religion, music, dance, language, and cuisine. One of the most visible examples of this syncretism can be found in Afro-Latin and Afro-Caribbean religions, where African deities and spiritual practices were fused with Catholicism, resulting in vibrant and complex belief systems. For instance, in Cuba, Santeria combines elements of Yoruba spirituality with Catholic saints, while in Brazil, Candomblé and Umbanda incorporate indigenous and European influences alongside African traditions. Music and dance also serve as powerful expressions of cultural syncretism in the region. Genres such as salsa, samba, reggae, and merengue are rooted in African rhythms and melodies, but have been enriched by European instruments and harmonies, as well as indigenous dance movements and traditions. This blending of musical styles and techniques has led to the creation of dynamic and diverse musical genres that resonate with audiences worldwide. Similarly, language in Latin America and the Caribbean reflects the fusion of African, European, and indigenous linguistic influences. African languages and dialects, such as Yoruba, Kikongo, and Bantu, have left an indelible mark on the region's linguistic landscape, enriching local languages with unique vocabulary, syntax, and pronunciation. Cultural syncretism has also transformed the culinary traditions of Latin America and the Caribbean, resulting in a fusion of ingredients, flavors, and cooking techniques from diverse cultural backgrounds. Dishes such as feijoada in Brazil, jerk chicken in Jamaica, and mofongo in Puerto Rico are all examples of culinary syncretism, blending African, indigenous, and European culinary traditions into delicious and distinctive creations. In essence, cultural syncretism in Latin America and the Caribbean is a testament to the resilience, creativity, and adaptability of its people. It reflects the ongoing process of cultural exchange and hybridization that has characterized the region's history, resulting in a rich tapestry of identities and traditions that continue to evolve and flourish to this day. The African influence on language and identity in Latin America and the Caribbean is profound and multifaceted, representing a rich tapestry of linguistic diversity that reflects centuries of cultural exchange and interaction. African languages, such as Yoruba, Kikongo, and Bantu, have left an indelible mark on the linguistic landscape of the region, permeating everyday speech and expressions, and contributing to the formation of distinct regional dialects and vernaculars. One of the most significant legacies of African linguistic influence in Latin America and the Caribbean is evident in the prevalence of African-derived vocabulary and linguistic structures in local languages. Words of African origin, known as loanwords, have become deeply integrated into everyday speech, enriching the lexicons of languages such as Spanish, Portuguese, French, and English. These loanwords often relate to aspects of daily life, including food, music, dance, religion, and social interactions, serving as a testament to the enduring impact of African culture on the region. Moreover, African languages have influenced the phonology, syntax, and grammar of Creole languages spoken in various parts of Latin America and the Caribbean. Creole languages, such as Haitian Creole, Papiamento, and Palenquero, emerged as a result of contact between African slaves, European colonizers, and indigenous peoples, resulting in hybrid linguistic forms that draw from multiple linguistic traditions. African linguistic features, such as tonal patterns, verb conjugations, and grammatical structures, are often evident in Creole languages, reflecting the linguistic diversity and complexity of the region. Beyond vocabulary and grammar, the influence of African languages on identity formation in Latin America and the Caribbean is profound. Language serves as a vehicle for cultural expression, social interaction, and collective memory, shaping individuals' sense of belonging and cultural heritage. For Afro-descendant communities in the region, preserving and promoting African linguistic traditions is often intertwined with efforts to reclaim and celebrate their cultural identity. In countries such as Brazil, Cuba, Haiti, and Trinidad and Tobago, initiatives to preserve African languages, such as Yoruba, Kikongo, and Bantu, have gained momentum in recent years, driven by a growing recognition of the importance of linguistic diversity and cultural heritage. Language revitalization efforts, including language classes, cultural festivals, and community-based language projects, play a crucial role in fostering a sense of pride and connection among Afro-descendant populations, strengthening ties to their African roots and promoting intergenerational transmission of linguistic knowledge. The African influence on language and identity in Latin America and the Caribbean is a testament to the enduring legacy of African culture in the region. From loanwords and Creole languages to identity formation and cultural revitalization, African linguistic heritage permeates every aspect of the region's linguistic landscape, reflecting the resilience, creativity, and diversity of Afro-descendant communities. As efforts to preserve and promote African languages continue to gain momentum, they serve as a powerful reminder of the importance of linguistic diversity in shaping collective identities and fostering cultural heritage preservation in Latin America and the Caribbean. From music and dance to literature and visual arts, the contributions of Afro-Latin and Afro-Caribbean artists have played a pivotal role in shaping the cultural landscape of Latin America and the Caribbean. Their creativity and innovation have not only enriched the region's cultural tapestry, but also provided a platform for the celebration and preservation of African heritage, inspiring generations to embrace their roots and celebrate the diversity of Afro-descendant cultures. Music and dance serve as powerful expressions of Afro-Latin and Afro-Caribbean identity, reflecting the fusion of African, indigenous, and European influences that characterize the region's cultural heritage. Genres such as salsa, samba, reggae, merengue, and cumbia are rooted in African rhythms and melodies, showcasing the resilience and creativity of Afro-descendant musicians and performers. Through their music and dance, Afro-Latin and Afro-Caribbean artists celebrate their cultural heritage, express their experiences, and assert their presence in society, forging connections across generations and communities. Literature also provides a platform for Afro-Latin and Afro-Caribbean voices to be heard, offering powerful narratives that challenge dominant narratives and provide insights into the experiences of Afro-descendants in the region. Writers such as Aimé Césaire, Alejo Carpentier, Celia Cruz, and Maya Angelou have offered poignant reflections on race, identity, and social justice, contributing to a deeper understanding of Afro-Latin and Afro-Caribbean cultures and histories. Through their works, these writers have inspired readers to confront issues of inequality and discrimination while celebrating the resilience and creativity of Afro-descendant communities. Visual arts play a crucial role in celebrating and preserving African heritage in Latin America and the Caribbean, providing a visual representation of the region's diverse cultural traditions and histories. Artists such as Wilfredo Lam, Diego Rivera, Jean-Michel Basquiat, and Edna Manley have drawn inspiration from African art, aesthetics, and symbolism, creating vibrant and evocative works that reflect the complexities of Afro-descendant experiences. From paintings and sculptures to murals and installations, Afro-Latin and Afro-Caribbean artists use visual arts as a means of cultural expression, resistance, and empowerment, challenging stereotypes and reclaiming narratives of identity and belonging. Moreover, the contributions of Afro-Latin and Afro-Caribbean artists extend beyond the confines of traditional artistic mediums, encompassing a wide range of creative practices and expressions. From fashion and design to cuisine and architecture, Afro-descendant artists and entrepreneurs continue to innovate and inspire, infusing their cultural heritage into every aspect of daily life and contributing to the vibrant tapestry of Afro-Latin and Afro-Caribbean cultures. In conclusion, the contributions of Afro-Latin and Afro-Caribbean artists have left an indelible mark on the cultural landscape of Latin America and the Caribbean, enriching the region with their creativity, resilience, and innovation. Through music, dance, literature, visual arts, and other forms of cultural expression, Afro-descendant artists celebrate their heritage, challenge stereotypes, and inspire generations to embrace their roots and celebrate the diversity of Afro-descendant cultures. As their influence continues to resonate across the region and beyond, Afro-Latin and Afro-Caribbean artists serve as powerful ambassadors of African heritage, and agents of cultural change and transformation. In conclusion, the impact of African culture on Latin America and the Caribbean is profound and multifaceted, shaping the region's cultural landscape in myriad ways. From religion and language to arts and identity, the enduring legacy of African heritage is evident in every facet of life, enriching the region with diversity, resilience, and creativity. Religion stands as one of the most visible manifestations of African cultural influence in Latin America and the Caribbean. Afro-Latin and Afro-Caribbean religions, such as Santeria, Candomblé, and Vodou, synthesize African spiritual beliefs with Catholicism and indigenous traditions, creating vibrant and dynamic belief systems that serve as a cornerstone of cultural identity and community cohesion. Language, too, bears the imprint of Africa, with African languages and dialects, such as Yoruba, Kikongo, and Bantu, permeating everyday speech and expressions. These linguistic legacies serve as a testament to the resilience of Afro-descendant communities and their enduring commitment to preserving and celebrating their cultural heritage. Moreover, the arts provide a powerful medium for the expression and celebration of African culture in Latin America and the Caribbean. From music and dance to literature and visual arts, Afro-Latin and Afro-Caribbean artists have contributed immensely to the region's cultural vibrancy, infusing their creative endeavors with African rhythms, motifs, and symbolism. Identity, too, is deeply intertwined with African heritage in Latin America and the Caribbean. Afro-descendant communities have long struggled for recognition and representation, challenging stereotypes and reclaiming narratives of resilience and resistance. Through cultural activism and artistic expression, Afro-Latin and Afro-Caribbean individuals assert their right to dignity, equality, and self-determination, forging a path towards greater social justice and inclusion. As we celebrate the rich tapestry of cultures that define Latin America and the Caribbean, it is essential to honor and recognize the enduring legacy of African contributions to the region. African culture has not only enriched the cultural diversity of Latin American and Caribbean societies, but has also served as a source of inspiration and empowerment for generations to come. By embracing and celebrating African heritage, we affirm the intrinsic value of diversity and foster a more inclusive and equitable society for all. Thank you for watching this video to the end. If you enjoyed this video, kindly hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to get notifications of all our new videos. Also, remember to share this video. See you in our next video.